Voters are going to the polls right now in Wisconsin, and the lieutenant governor there says it is not pretty, using different words. This comes after his boss, the governor, tried to delay in-person voting for today's primary, but was overruled by the state Supreme Court. We will go there live in a moment, but first, correspondent Peter Ducey with how this affects the Democratic presidential race. Good evening, Peter.
Brett, Democratic candidates are queasy about people who aren't supposed to leave the House, leaving the House to go and vote. So Joe Biden is already looking ahead to November, where poll workers could be replaced by postal workers.
We should be thinking now ahead, have all the experts, both political parties and academia, laying out what it would take to have voting by mail.
First, today's Wisconsin primary, where Bernie Sanders, who won there in 2016, isn't exactly rooting for a repeat, saying, let's be clear, holding this election amid the coronavirus outbreak is dangerous, disregards the guidance of public health experts, and may very well prove deadly. Republicans in Wisconsin disagree and took the Democratic governor, who wanted to delay in-person voting, to court, but not to mess with Biden or Sanders.
It's more critical now than ever that we make sure we fill the mayoral slots, the city council slots, the county board slots, the school boards, quite honestly.
Sanders trails Biden by 303 delegates, but as Bernie's chances of winning the nomination fade, supporters hope his chances of shaping the platform at the convention.
If you are still harboring naive notions of free and fair elections when Democrats are involved, perhaps this will help you disabuse those fantasies. This article and the video that I showed you is from a Fox News report a few days ago. A prominent Democrat lawyer who represented Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign, Mark Ellis, is threatening to sue the state of Nevada unless it immediately suspends prosecutions for ballot harvesting before the June 9th primary, among a slew of other demands, according to a letter obtained by Fox News this past Tuesday. Now, this was written on April 10th to the Nevada Secretary of State, Barbara Kavasky, a Republican. Now, Ellis first took aim at Nevada Revised Statute Section 293.330, in parentheses 4, which prohibits ballot harvesting and permits only certain individuals, like family members, to return ballots. Now, folks, ballot harvesting, or the practice of allowing political operatives and others to collect voters' ballots and turn them in mass to polling stations, has drawn bipartisan concern of fraud from election watchers like myself. Now, we ask that your office and the office of
So it is to the printing press, to the recorder of man's deeds, the keeper of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive. Fight for what's right. Fight for your life.
All right, welcome to the Patriot Hour. It is Sunday, April 26, 2020. Sunday evening, a little later than normal, but me and Ben wanted to get on and just spit some truth. And that can come at any time, at any hour, at any minute that we decide. So you guys got to be prepared for the incoming truth. All right, we wanted to talk a little bit. We're going to get into ballot harvesting. It's all becoming so clear now, folks. We've been kind of throwing around different ideas of why and what, and man, here it is. Again, don't ever take what we say to be 100% fact, 100% word, 100% truth. In this together, we go through many of article, we listen to many of people, we subscribe to many of different things, and listen to many of different channels and journalists and articles. Believe none of it until you can verify it. All right, that's very important in our everyday challenge here. All right, without further ado, let's get on with the panel here. We got Ben, brother.
How we do
a little bit of fist pumping, a little bit of fist pump.
Oh yeah.
All right. So what did you think? What do you think about this ex-Hillary lawyer crisis in our voting, man? I mean, Hillary lawyer, ballot harvesting, Joe Biden. It all just
Well, it's
seems
interesting.
so creepy.
I mean, it's becoming very clear that we know that Biden could not stand up in any type of actual debate or anything to do with the same room as Trump. We know that, so they fixed that, which is crazy how you do that. On top of that, they want to see how they can pretty much as sneakily and as grabbily as they can get the votes to the main stations. And it's interesting because they're showing their hand of what they've been doing for all these elections. We came to you, I believe this was midterms. And Mike and I were talking when I went and did voting at midterms and whatnot. It was all done in pencil. And I was pretty concerned here locally.
Made
And
you
so we were talking
skeptical
about-
of
made me very skeptical. It's like, wait a minute,
if you see pencils,
ex-military.
boxes, and then maybe erasers.
Yeah, I question the narrative. So with that being said, it's like, who are these people? Who do they have their alliance with? Are they truly unbiased parties that are picking these things up like the armored trucks that come to the banks and pick up the money? These guys have a mission. It's going to be safe, going to be good. We're clear. Check. All right. Money's there. Money's in. There's safeguards everywhere. Or do these people have nefarious reasons and they have a whole stack of already pre-filled out, 50,000 votes in the back just ready to go? They'll collect them, swappity, which from what we've been telling you before on prior episodes, what we're saying, this is cakewalk, you guys. Really switching the votes and putting it in one way. Or how about getting a bunch of illegals into a state and getting them all a bunch of registered state IDs, and so you can get them to be voting and then swing the vote illegally one way
This
or
is
another.
where-
This is, I mean,
This is
they're showing
probably
their
where
hand.
we need to really be paying attention for the next from here till elections. If
Super
we sleep,
vigilant.
if we go to sleep, if we don't keep the watch, if we don't keep our eyes open, and we, like I was saying in my last video, we could miraculously wake up to a country that, by the TV standards, have just went blue. Like they would force that upon us by lie, by whatever, and nobody, would quite believe it, but you would, I guess, at that, I mean, you know how it works. So,
well, by sheer, I don't want to use the word laziness, but by sheer of slothfulness of your constitutional rights, they will take them away because it's no longer you opt in, you have to opt out now, and that's basically taking your rights away. If you don't do anything, they'll take them away, and they'll have their people vote them in. And I mean, I could remember a few years back, I was looking at and had an opportunity to possibly run for our local coroner's office. I did medical prior to the military and some things like that, so I had some unique credentials to basically run for the county coroner's office and be the county coroner.
and if I remember correctly, that came from our local veteran.
That was a veterans of voc rehab program we were going through for school, along with our Montgomery GI Bill
or the
and things of
local
this nature.
veterans.
What is it? Is
Service
it the work
officer,
one?
VSO.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, the VSO. That's
That's what I was trying to hit.
Yeah.
Without we'll just say Kevin, but yeah, Kevin, right? So,
Yeah. We had a local guy, and long story short, there was this job that came open, and it's not a job. It was a publicly held office, which was the county coroner. I went next door, talked to the secretary, and did some things, and I was just looking on there, and I says, well, let me see, because every ballot, that was casted in that county for years prior are public record. So I requested last year's, who ran against him, what was his competition, that kind of stuff, right? And for the last 5 terms, he's been uncontested. He's been the only person who's ran in the county. So therefore, not voting and voting makes no difference on that particular situation. So she was chuckling and says, yeah, you can go ahead and run this year. He'll probably let it go because he's just tired of it. Nobody else will run. So, and it was an opportunity that, I At the time, it wasn't as significant as other ones. Having, that's how I met Mike, actually, is I didn't take that and went somewhere else. So, but little things like that, when you're uncontested, there's nobody else running, then you say, well, I voted. Well, you have to look just beyond your vote and see where is it going, what's going on, what I can do. Because Mike and I always say here, you start with your family, then you start with your neighbor, then you start with your mayor, then your sheriff, and yes.
You can't go judging other people's yards in your neighborhood. That's just the old adage. It's like you gotta, if your own isn't, and you shouldn't really judge anyway. But if you're gonna clean up, why clean up across town if you're, you got own issues? So we always say that, and it's gonna make the most. It's where you live. So we always talked about people wanting the change. We need smaller government. I mean, couldn't we all agree, Ben? I mean, we know the old way. Man, we'd probably never really get back to that. I mean, 200 years ago, 100 years ago, there was a lot less dealings going on, possibly even overseas with the world trade and all that. So maybe they need to meet up a little bit more, but it's supposed to be a burden. We talk about this a lot. And these people are supposed to live in the states that they represent and make the burden of the trip to even go to D.C. to fire up
on
the
those
chambers
states
of Congress.
Yeah, because we know Bill Cooper, legend, has told us, why do these people he told us before, he's cracked the code when it comes to, it's been there in wide open. Our governors and senators, they get paid by the District of Columbia,
a foreign government to your state.
And so if this was supposed to be a burden, like our governor here, our state should be funding our governor's trip, whatever you want to call it, to DC to go and handle our business in DC. Once they vote, and we're not talking like go stay there for a week because it's in session. No, you go there. I mean, if you read the history books, you guys, some of these people, they would sit there for 20, 24, 48, 72 hours without like breaking to engage, actually get a vote. So
engage and get the crap done, so they can
food
get
in and water, so they could still hash these things out. I mean, it's
so they
crazy.
get back home to their farms and family, right?
Because they got beans to put in the ground or whatever.
This is kind of, now we had the opposite, and we know this without like secretly. I'm just saying, but like with our Legion, we fought one year to go down to state to represent our Legion, and our guy at the time in charge of funds, and I guess he wore many a hat. But we fought tooth and nail to even get like $10 a day for per diem to eat, and it was just like this burden. It was a burden.
Yes.
And we can almost apply it, and people are like, oh, that was a good thing of him to keep control of the money. Well, there was different angles there, but I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, it was almost like, now it was a different story. We weren't going down every year. We had missed out on 20 years worth or something because of something that happened 20 years ago. And so people misrepresenting the local Legion.
Yes. It was POVs, which is in military for personal owned vehicles we were taking. So we were some gas, we were carpooling.
Hotel.
If we were going to represent our Legion, hotel, this kind of stuff. So it's like, yes, these are the things that when you go down to represent something, that something is what is fueling, what is sponsoring, what is championing you to go and represent. Mike and I did not go down to the state Legion conference just because we felt like it and we wanted to pay it ourselves. We were going there representing our home Legion, so our actions representing what we do to our home legions, my speak, our decisions, everything we were doing, we were there as representing. Just like when you fly the American flag, you're representing everybody who came before you and what they stood for, which is the pure and unadulterated constitutional freedom. Our Articles of Confederation speak really clearly about how each person is supposed to go. It's like, I was talking to my boy today, we're outside, playing, and he asked, he's like, should everybody have guns like the Cowboys and Indians? And we were talking about that kind of stuff. I said, well, if everybody had a gun, everybody would surely be awfully polite, wouldn't they? I says, man, it would be a great world. Everybody's polite and happy whenever they're, if you had a beef, you go take it outside. And most people don't have beefs. They pretty much talk it all out.
Yeah, we talked about that, the old Wild West, or
The old
how
Wild
things,
West.
you know, what movie was that we always laugh about? I always brought it up to you. It was like, do you remember the movie DC Cab? And there's one gentleman, you know, he's like, I don't want the gun, I don't want the gun, I don't want the gun, I don't want the gun in the back seat. And they're like, they put it in his hand literally, and he gets, and he's like, all right now. And the minute he gets, his attitude changes. He's like, all right now, you mother effer, you know, and cusses and gets real tough.
Are you ready?
But then we had seen a video. People were like, they don't want to give me a gun. You know,
I'm crazy. I'll kill somebody. You don't give me a gun. I'm like, okay. Yes. You see, it's almost
people
like
weeded themselves out, right? They didn't typically walk
we
along.
didn't have a lot of idiots, and if they were idiots, they recognized that they were idiots, and they acted accordingly, knowing that they were lower on the social totem pole, because there was a hierarchy of you had to be more self-sufficient back in those days, and because it just seems like 50 years ago people knew the Constitution like we say the Pledge of Allegiance today, like we drink water. People just knew the laws of Congress. People just knew these things, and because they're fundamental basics of what Congress's basic function is, what's the executive branch's basic function, and people this was just common knowledge. They knew when to plant the corn and when to harvest it. They knew when to, this was just such common knowledge to where now we don't know it unless we go on this little black mirror thing that we speak at. It gives us information, and whatever it tells us, it must be true. And whatever somebody's telling us in front of us, they're just crazy, because this black mirror tells me that it's gonna get me.
Well, yeah, and for a long time we have dealt with folks. We have dealt with the people that have, you know, told us they're the ones that cut through the living room and get like a 2-second clip of CNN, Fox News, MSDNC, something, and it tells them something in about a matter of a minute, maybe 30 seconds on a certain topic. Oh, a pilot died, da 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 da, and they breathed that in as quick as they could, and then that's what people will stick by, repeat, regurgitate, take as truth. That's how it works. That's how easy it is. Then when you confront them, like, well, actually, that pilot was involved in a, circus of America, a front company or something. Typically, we find out, and then people. Right. Isn't that how it normally goes, Ben? You know, it's like
that's exactly how it goes.
And then they're like, "You're a nutcase, you Ben."
You know what's funny is
like, whoa, you spent 12 hours researching this one little topic and took off on a lot of actual factual information that we can find, D-class, phone calls,
you know what's interesting?
emails.
I was looking at this yesterday, and I know that you and I have went over this, I mean, countless times, and we referenced this document in numerous episodes and videos. It's the old document where the CIA tells us that it was their Mockingbird thing that says they codenamed the word conspiracy theorist.
They made that word, yeah.
Yeah. There's a document. I don't remember if you still have it real quickly, or I think maybe now since Google's not graveled so much, I don't know. But
yeah. That
being said, I all you guys who are watching right now, just start looking for a document that just conspiracy theorists. Where did that term come from? What is that? Because, you know, we talk about that word has been turned into a weapon against those who want to think outside the box, because, you know, Mike and I conspired hours ago to do what we're doing now. We had a plot. We had our secret lingo that you all know. It's called brown bean juice, or it's called like, hey, we're coming in hot.
We conspired to do this episode. I called him.
We had plots.
I texted, hey, you want to do a show?
We were conspirators.
What time do you think, man? Around this time, man. What do you want to do it about, man? Well, we'll talk loosely, because we don't ever have really. I mean, sometimes we'll have a point or a topic, and that's a topic, but and we have to do our research. But I was like, tonight's just going to be a little bit of, I wanted to talk about the ballot harvesting. So anyway, yeah, we plotted, you know, so.
And so we
conspired.
just yes,
One
when
or
we see these
two or more
things,
people.
yes, and so it's like it's almost like, it's almost like a badge of honor.
Well, it's like the
now,
world
Mike,
or
when
the
I get
word collusion.
collusion.
That alone
exactly.
was not against the law. Collusion is
But
not
can
against
you,
the law.
can you,
What did you
can you
collude
get,
to do?
they colluded to build my house, and they had a plan to do it, and they had
They actually have a
blueprint.
plot.
They have a plot, yeah. They had paid good money for it too. I heard well, and I mean it's so the origins of these things to discredit us, those of us, and who want to think outside the box. There you go. It's a little armor of God. That's what is the most important thing to do in all of this is knowledge. Oh, get into a book of Ephesians. The whole chapter is just amazing. It gives you all the tools you need. Loving that. I believe we're going to be giving that one away with. Yeah. We've got some good stuff coming for you guys. We're still planning on doing the Patriot Fest, by the way, y'all.
Oh, that's
It's
on.
going to be off. Oh, it's just going to be crazy. This is going to be so much fun.
And this is in the holder that I put them in for when I do send them out. A few of the people that have
So
got
you
them.
don't, they're all nice.
That
And,
way you can just keep it in your pocket.
and you never had to serve in the military or not, but you get a little taste of our challenge coins. And these
we'll
are
be giving
just
some of these out at
great
the
little things, Pat Riot
Patriot
Fest.
Fest. All right, for those of you that can make it and join.
Oh, it's going to be great. I think it's August 14th and 15th. Oh, yeah, grilling is already on top of it. You're awesome, brother.
Look at that quality.
It is cool. And they're heavy, too. They're heavy. They got some weightage
Took
to
me.
them.
I got to put it down right now because my arm's getting tired. So, just joking. All right, folks. Welcome to the Patriot Hour. For those of you just joining in,
Yes, we
We're
were
just
talking
having a little bit
about
of fun.
the ballot harvesting earlier in the show and how it's just really revealing their hand of what they've been doing for a while and almost swip-swappity. This is how the crazies like AOC, my governor, how deep does this go? How many states have been doing this, SOP, standard operating procedures for how many elections? And we just sit back and be like, this is how it goes. My vote counts. Like, no, it doesn't. It's the presidential vote. It's the, it's the electors. How many electoral votes he has, not public. So, but we,
yeah,
so
you got to run the race you're in, folks. You don't learn about all
yes,
of it.
that's why
you're
it's
running the
local.
100-meter.
Midterms is crazy. That's where you got to give those who are going to be casting the votes. And when they start rigging those, because nobody really talks about the midterms. They all think it's all presidential, but who are the people who get elected in to actually be your electors and electorals there, and senators and governors and these kind of things? And what have they been doing? How has the little man, us, you and I, how have our votes on the midterms, when the public vote really does count, how have they not been really coming back home? Because Mike and I, we're not the only people who think like this. We're just the normal Americans who love freedom, who have something called the Constitution that we can stand on, and that when that gets treaded upon, we have the gumption to say, hey, we don't like that. And I got some dudes like in the past I know who didn't like it either. And this is a whole different type of warfare, or I'm not going to say like a civil war, but it's a new type of warfare, and it's an informational warfare. And if you understand that, then the New World Order is not, like Mike said, it's not going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony. They're not going to come. It's like the New World Order has been here. It's been silently injected. It's been in his treasonous.
Yeah,
there
we go. I was waiting for somebody to say it, and Face did.
Yes.
Did the Patriot Hour 2.0 just go live? Yes, we did.
Yes.
Just doing a little comms test.
Test
So
2.0 for you. That's beautiful, brother. Live doing it, man. That software is beautiful, man. I love what it can do.
Just
on the
hit it when
fly.
Ben was talking just to do it. I'll
Yeah.
probably shut her down. I just wanted to say, hey, if you're just joining in, if you got the alert over the Patriot Hour 2.0, welcome.
Smooth
We're just doing a little bit
operator.
of. We're just doing a little bit of smooth
We're hanging
operator.
with you guys tonight because I mean, your kids ain't got school tomorrow. A lot of your work is going to be from your PJs and coffee cup in front, or the top half will be business, bottom half will be PJs with your coffee cup, taking care of business from home probably. So it's a whole new wonderful way to be living. So it's we're reaping what we're sowing right now, and I think a lot of us who weren't really paying attention are starting to kind of look around and see what's happening for real.
I see a new General Flynn to be completely exonerated. In other news, Q has posted again. Yes, that's right. Q is back.
The droplets have been flowing.
The droplets have begun.
Mm-hmm.
They've only just begun.
Now I see that's a picture there. What time is on that clocky tower after we see the Twitter connection?
Well, is that one by land or?
The one if by land, two if by sea, and he has two in there.
Is that the
But I don't know that one there.
the steep? Let me see here.
What the steepy showing, brother?
I want to get some control.
I think this is gonna be beautiful. If he's completely exonerated, then I know some of his stuff was classified that he went down for.
Now, what do we see in there, Ben?
I don't know here. That's kind of hard to tell.
Let me get my FBI forensic tool out.
I need second quadrant. Let's go in 300%. All right, quadrant 4. Looks to be some type of statue or something. I don't know. I wonder what that is. Any of you guys out there watching right now have an idea of what this is, what structure this is? If you live out in that area, like that's the DC something or other, you might know what that is. It's definitely a steeple. Put it together, go inside, look at all the people. So I just didn't know if that was any significance. Is that the steeple tower that the lights were put in? If it was,
one if by land, two if by sea. All right,
I do see two lights there, so.
Yes, one if by land, two if by sea.
Looks like it says it looks like all kinds of weird stuff. I think it's a North Old Church. Looks like a rabbit. Looks like Baphomet. Looks, God only knows. Looks like a kangaroo. Yeah, I don't know.
Here we're gonna do some.
I don't know if any of you guys.
We can do a little bit of backdoor
out there. Backdoor fishing.
So we got Marie Baritmo. I can never say her name.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking news sources tell me at General Flynn will be completely exonerated this week. It was a total fraud, a setup. More tomorrow. Yeah, well, we known this. We are General Flynn's digital soldiers. We're here. The pain starts now. Ooh, is that the first marker? Is it the first
medic,
marker?
what is up? Yes, that's the
Yeah,
marker.
that's
Marker
up.
1.
What's going on, brother?
One more reply. Yes.
We knew it all along. Our beloved at General Flynn was innocent.
That's right, Mary Grace. We agree. Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun, dun,
dun.
dun. Bartoromo. There you go, Bartoromo. Thank you.
There you go.
Maria Bartoromo.
Yeah, this is gonna be great, dude. This is gonna be great because
Isaiah 27:1. In that day, the Lord will take his terrible swift sword and punish Leviathan, the swiftly moving serpent, the calling, withering serpent. He will kill the dragon of the sea. Ooh.
Mm.
Boom.
Too spicy.
A little bit of a new
Blast your LSD mind of keck. I mean, real space. You know, actually,
Real
Mike, it
space
reminds me of
force.
somebody who takes psychotropic type things in my
early
time.
in the morning to obscure the
In the
number.
morning. Yep, there she is. Awesome. What does she got there? Punisher.
Punish. This
Oh,
was
that's great.
irregular warfare at its finest in politics, folks. What we have here, we call citizen journalist. Because the journalists we have in our media did a disservice to themselves
Oh, yeah.
and to the American people. Now let's look at these scumbags.
These dirt bags.
He's in the bracket for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's bracketed.
He's a brackling, a crackling. What we got here? A little American hero.
Uh-oh. Hey,
He
man, this
lost
could
his
be great.
house,
We'll see what
his
he says.
reputation, and years of his life. Exoneration isn't justice. It's just the beginning.
Well, he might be eligible to reverse and press charges for basically of his due process.
Harassment.
His habeas el corpus being the writ thereof being laid it upon the foot of the judge.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, this is it's like you hear about this happening at a small micro level where the guy gets arrested for murder or whatever, and 10 years later the DNA evidence, because it's a little bit better now, and it exonerates him and he comes out. And most times, not all, but most times, they're thankful. They may get a couple of compensation check from the state or something like that. But there have been times where they have filed a countersuit for where it's like, you know, well, it really found out it was Sergeant, you know, Willis who had taken the evidence and purposely, you know, aimed it towards this individual and got him 10 years.
We already see that with the lawyer that like had to call this, you know, CIA. Did this guy really work for you guys? Yeah, man, we're not BSing. I'll send you over the facts stuff. All right. I mean, I'm just for real. Like he had,
hoping. I was like, it's gotcha, psych.
And then he still didn't put it in the paperwork. He removed it, or however he did, you know, because it was against what they needed to be true. It's clear. I mean, there's one of many errors here, folks, and that's the thing. So these errors that we're seeing, like going after Michael Flynn or calling over to the CIA to find out if they did something or if this person worked for you, and they tell you, yeah,
it's
and
a
then
phishing
you don't care. It's one thing to have like 17 errors, but all 17 errors that are calculated in a manner to be like where every one of them fall like a domino perfectly in line to get you to what you wanted. That's what's a little
statistically like the odds of that are 0.000001.
Yeah. We also talked about the FBI when they come and knock on people's doors. They're normally 99%, 99999. They got all the evidence. They're there to just ask you some questions.
Only reason why they're stepping on private property.
The only time that has been the case is the Clintons. Like 9 times that they've been interviewed by the FBI, no charges, nothing comes out. Well, yeah, we got nothing.
That's Clinton statistics. You gotta flip them.
So,
well,
all right, well, we're gonna keep this one short tonight. It was great talking to you guys. We just wanted to beam in for a little bit. We're going on 30, almost 40 minutes, but we're gonna do a couple of the chats. We'll bring them on board. We'll do our shout outs. Tell us where you're from, where you're coming from tonight, your home state.
Loving all the mods, holding it down.
Country.
You guys are awesome.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
we just want to get something to you. I know you guys hopefully will be getting a live show tomorrow. Minnesota is in the house.
Yes, we're going to be doing a show in the morning, by the way. Ben won't be available, but we got, I think, Woodman and Fluidport.
Hopefully, Fluidport. Yeah, you guys.
Minnesota.
Show. Oh yeah, Saudi Arabia. Oh yeah, I'm talking OK City, Colorado, PA, Texas, Florida, Colorado, Ontario. What's up? Alabama. Roll Tide, you guys. Florida here, Vermont, North Kakalaki, Parker, Colorado. Larimore, North Dakota. Oh yeah, the Grand Vids.
Welcome
South
to Patriot
Khaki,
Hour
North
Time.
Khaki,
I'm your
Kentucky.
host, Michael.
Oh yeah,
Nevada, Gitmo.
Oregon.
Mike and Ben, God bless you. God bless you guys. Bronx, New York. Nashville, Tennessee.
Dollywood, Georgia.
Michigan. Go Gators.
Fort Living
Shout-
Room, North Kakalaki, rapping. We got you, Randy Robbins.
Randy, what's up?
Wolf Lake, Minnesota.
Redford, give a shout out to Fluidport, give a shout out to Woodman, David Woodruff,
Yes,
the
what's
mod
up?
holding
New
it down.
York City.
Cleveland,
Arizona.
Ohio, living on the edge, I see.
Quebec,
South
Pittsburgh,
Texas.
Michigan.
Michigan, worldwide, baby. Steve, James Stewart, Georgia, Daytona.
Daytona.
Finally caught you live, coming out of Chesapeake, Virginia.
Vancouver,
David
Canada.
Rollins, thank you, David. I've been there.
BC, Canada.
Lived out there in the Norfolk area. Virginia Beach,
Nevada.
Chesapeake.
Massachusetts.
Hampton Roads. Tornado Alley, Parker, Colorado, Epstein Island. That
Mr.
is
Cheeks, you are not
creepy.
from Epstein Islands. If you
Mr.
are, send
Cheeks.
pictures.
Send pictures.
Slow
Don't worry about
cow.
it on us
What's
now.
up?
Alabama Slamma
Iowa.
from
PA,
the Indy-ish
back in the house.
area. Indy-ish.
America.
PA. WVA, West Virginia in the house.
I see
Alabama,
invaders in
Illinois.
Alabama.
Alabama. Mansfield,
New York.
Texas.
Australia.
Alabama. Mr. Cheeks.
Near Knoxville.
Face says, shirt order.
Tom
Shirt order.
Boyce
They
is
want the
in
shirts.
Cave.
They're coming. Tomorrow we make moves. Tomorrow we
Skywater,
make
huh?
moves.
Redford,
Castleberry,
Michigan.
Florida,
What up?
Nevada, Redford, Michigan, Ohio,
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Living on the edge in Cincinnati.
Oklahoma.
North Kakalaki, Durham, North Kakalaki.
Love Cherokee. Tennessee, what up?
We are Q. You guys are
Missouri.
worldwide. Thank you,
Maine.
John Doe. Tennessee,
New
Missouri,
Jersey.
Gettysburg.
Texas. Gator Country.
Gettysburg.
What up, Wolf Hinge? Top of the
Sweating
Sandia Mountain.
Sack, Texas.
I forget you guys out there. It is, man. Texas, you guys are awesome out there. Big sweating sacks out there. You guys are holding the freedom down proper.
Sweating Sack, Texas.
Glasbury, Florida, Georgia. The lake in the
Oh,
sky.
man. Lake in the
Nevada.
sky, Nevada. Where's the
Acme,
MISSISSIPPI? There's
Come on,
Mars.
where is it there? Where is it?
I got Mars.
Home
Home of the Buckeyes. Coming out of Freedom Town, USA.
No Run, Tennessee.
Love you guys. Bristol,
Ain't no
God's
aliens
girl.
on Mars.
Nashville, Mars.
David Woodruff. We know what's going on out there in the
Big
big
silhouette and sack.
taxi.
Thank you
Hamburg,
from Nevada.
Germany. We love
That's
it. You guys- Great
Sactorial.
racing out there in Hamburg. You guys got actually.
Hamburg,
Alaska is in the
Germany.
house.
Alaskan in the house. 2.0 shutdown. Yeah, we shut her down. I did shut her down, so thank you for letting me know that. Alaska, Illinois.
Craze. Remember the Alamo.
Remember the
Oh, yeah.
Alamo. Heaven Born and Bound. Georgia.
Funky Town.
Where
I
we
know
go
what's going-
one. We be going all. My living room.
Yes.
Grand
Nice.
Valley.
Fubar. Nice. Illinois is coming in the house.
Fubar. Mailing you a patch. Thank you.
Alberta,
Thank
Canada
you,
is coming in,
Stephen
man.
18.
We're getting all kinds of New Zealand in the house. West Texas.
I want to thank the mods for holding it down. They always
Near
do.
Tennessee.
They
You
always
guys,
do.
we got the best. You guys, you know, we voted that. By
We
the
got
way,
the
we had
best.
number one mods in the entire business. Funded, non-funded, totally volunteered, best in the business. It's been voted. It's been done. It's a done
History
deal.
books. History
It's
books.
been written. Songs have been sung already.
Statues
dances
will be
have been-
made.
Danced. Yes.
Movies will be
Parades.
written. Books will be just spread around, man.
You guys.
We love you guys, you know. We really do. That's been a great
Deep South Arkansas. Oh, hey.
Deep South. How do you order them shirts? Man, everyone's wanting in.
I'm telling you,
Wanting
hey.
in.
Wanting in. They hungry.
We can
for
start
some
doing
shit.
pre-orders if that's what you guys really want.
Well, you know, let's.
We're going to be
you know,
making. I actually believe tomorrow. We got
Yes,
some
yes,
meetings
I
going on.
believe,
There's going to be some executives from this place meeting with some executives from the Patriot Hour. which is basically me. I'm gonna get with my secretary, which is me, and then I'm gonna get with my person that emails, and then my tech guy, which is me.
I'm going to the many of.
It's me, myself, and I, man. No, I'm just joking. We got a little bit of help here.
Yeah, no, it's
my
tomorrow's a new
significant other.
business day for a bunch of people, and hopefully, yes, lots of progress being made, you guys. I think that's the one thing, if we can end this show on that, is that we can all agree, no matter what side you're on, that huge progress has been made from 60 days, from 90 days ago, from a year ago, from 2 years ago, from 3 years ago, from a lax administration. I mean, I can see a really positive change. I mean, if we're already getting crazy scientists who say that you can get this pandemic, if I can even call that that, they're now saying that ultraviolet light kills, these living viruses outside their host, which is of course what parasitical, bacterial, or fungal things do. However, just know that you guys,
that's what Trump was talking about too, was IV ultraviolet light, which is like a real thing that Dr. Fauci,
we know
he was
that
unaware of it for some reason. Totally.
I didn't know ultraviolet light is a disinfecting spectrum of the light that the sun gives to go outside. So staying inside is actually not as healthy as you think. Going outside and getting that fresh air and putting a mask on your face to actually inhibit the inhale of oxygen and nitrogen that your brain needs to regulate it. That's why you have nostrils.
Seems like a portion of this country wanted it to stick around until the election times, folks. And that's why they're already telling you in so many words, it's coming back. It will be back.
They're not going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony, you guys, but they have to. They're evil spells. They have to tell you what they're doing.
We talked about this. I had a video. It was like I was trying to run around, tell everyone, the panel, the other shows I was on with these other guys, American Joe, and them was like, I came on the one. I was like, you guys see Don Lemon give a straight up threat? Because I'm able to see the threats now. They're so antagonized that they can't help themselves. It's if you see me or somebody, I wouldn't do it. But if you were to see other channel folks or not, I mean, it's gonna be the people in charge, I guess, the mainstream media. They're like, I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I'm just saying, maybe watch your back. And they start making threats like that. You better take it to be like that's what they did. The minute Trump beat them in the impeachment, but they were gonna wait till the vote to be on Wednesday. It was like that Sunday night, and they like, well, I don't know why Trump was waiting until Wednesday for the vote. They know they got it. He's not gonna be impeached, folks. But I'll just say, what else is coming? I don't know. I'd be watching
for it.
Just keep
about
watching.
A year ago, they told
the
him
news.
If you do that,
watch my
news.
It's like
we're gonna be riots in the streets.
If Trump wins, there will be rioting. There will be burnings of buildings. There will be cars that get smashed, windows, and I think maybe 2, maybe 4 tires get popped. I'm just saying. And then that's exactly what happened, when you rip off the mask and it's him. You're like, oh my God, it's Don, it's you.
I told you.
Besides the point, give me my mask back, man. And you're like, what the? I thought you were predicting this. I didn't know it was going to be you orchestrating it.
Are there not riots, good sir?
He's like, I said riots. I never said who.
These wizards cast these spells to you that you don't see it. That's why Mike and I have this ability.
So we get paid the big bucks.
Oh yeah. yeah. Lori Quintero, I fear not. I totally agree. And Ann Bolton, false Christ comes first. That's right. Mike and I were always aware of that. We talk about looking at the counterfeit, looking up the truth, knowing what's vice from versa. I mean, knowing where you stand and not being wishy-washy on your opinions or even your beliefs, because it's like, I mean, come on now, people. If you don't really know what you truly believe, then you're more susceptible to what you believe, and then you parrot that to somebody else. Yes. So you sound like you know what you're talking about, and you sound good, like you can hold a conversation. But the reality is, on the inside, you don't know what you're talking about, and that's okay. There's this discovery process that we all go through, And that's why it's so awesome to go through that journey with you guys here almost every time we hop on the show, because we always learn crazy new stuff together. And I like to go take this and tell those who I know and say, hey, I learned some really cool stuff today. Check this out. So spread this around. Bless your family. God bless you guys. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful evening.
What a great show. Robert
yes.
Danilla needed a laugh. Thank you guys. Thank you. We all need a laugh once in a while, and that's what we try to do here at the Patriot Hour. What a great show. We had Ben on tomorrow morning, folks, 8:30 or 9:30 a.m. roughly. We're going to come on. I think it's going to be, we'll see, Woodman, Fluid Pour. And if not, I'll be here alone. I don't mind. I'm going to go ahead and just do a live show. It works so much easier sometimes just to get the information out on the fly. It just works. It just works great. So, again, thank you for being here. Again, never take our word to be 100% fact, 100% truth, 100% correct. We try. It's a big sea of lies. We don't lie to you on purpose. We try to swim through all the lies together, bring you the truth, bring you what is deemed to be legit, D-class, emails, things that you can actually take a chew out of, chew that meat, spit out the bone. In your research, you'll come across a lot of things that don't pertain to what we're looking at or are just wrong. It happens. Again, I am Michael. This is the Patriot Hour. God bless each and every one of you, and we'll see you back here on the next episode. I love all the Patriots. Good night. God bless. Welcome to the Patriot Hour, world's #1 most trusted intel source, calling all patriots.